We talking about Joe Blow with a microphone going to Sam Ash.
Name Joe Blow and name the amount of Joe Blows who are able to do that and become successful off of it. I'm just being realistic in the fact that not many opportunities are given to those type of people, and it's very rare that people get their break that way.
Yo, if you're sitting around waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity, and I'm not talking to you.
That's a good one.
Because you keep talking about giving the opportunity, and I'm talking about talented people creating opportunity.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. I was going to try to hold off on the video until like 6 o'clock, but I'm listening to the Patreon right now, and this shit really pissed me off, so I'm just going to voice my opinion on it. Imani, you were the wrong person to be saying this. I understand why you're saying this, because you're currently going through something right now to where you don't fully understand the path that you're on, so you're going to speak as if there's no way you can make it out the mud or get it out the mud yourself. And a lot of these content creators will compare themselves to the tippity top of the creation field and then get upset because they're nowhere near them. And I keep trying to tell people all the fucking time, it doesn't matter your subscriber base. If you can connect with your community and you can get them to come to every video, YouTube will notice that and they'll start to propel you forward. I don't look at my views and everybody else's views like, oh, I'll never get there and I can't do that without the help of somebody behind me. No! This shit is frustrating. And I'm glad Joe was frustrated talking to you. And I'm glad later on Parks gets frustrated talking to you. You were the wrong person to say this. Not only did you have a very successful event that you curated, you have a successful Patreon. I don't even think he realizes the position he's in with his Patreon. And sorry, guys, the reason I'm frustrated right now, let me catch my breath. The reason I'm frustrated right now is because I don't like what the JBP Patreon is turning into. And it's because of Imani. It's because of the insecurity that he has with himself. And this conversation just brought that shit right up to me. Like, shut the fuck up. I get it. You are trying to be on the other side of things because, oh, damn, this is going to be a deeper video than I want it to be. Whenever you see somebody's a contrarian or always on the opposite side of things, and this has nothing to do with how they view themselves as a person, but pay attention to what I'm about to say. Whenever you see somebody that's a contrarian and they produce content, and they're constantly on the other side of shit, it's because they don't have anything to say pertaining to the topic. They don't have anything to say to showcase who they are themselves. They don't have a way to stand out. What I mean by that is, if everybody in the room agrees and has the same sentiments about a particular topic, you don't want to regurgitate the same things. And instead of using the compelling arguments that you have inside of you to say things that, even though you're in alignment, to say something else that was not broached, people will become contrarian and speak the exact contrast just to keep the conversation going. I don't want to hear this shit. You can't be a getting it out the mud nigga telling other people they can't get it out the mud or they need a push or they can't do what Daniel Caesar does. Yes, the fuck they can. People are doing it every single day. They're doing it every single day. I don't even want this narrative to get out there because that'll negate everything that I constantly say on this channel. I'm creating content and telling people all the fucking time that they need to create content because they could be in the same position that I'm in. And for whatever reason, people view me in a higher space than I'm in. I keep telling people, I am one of y'all. Joe is one of us. All the people that you see at the higher echelon of their position, yes, they did put in the work, and yes, they did things to get them and propel them into positions that they're at, but that doesn't mean you can't do the same things. That doesn't mean you can't put in the work. See, but a lot of that, damn, I'm just rambling because I'm frustrated. A lot of this draws back to people wanting to get paid up front. Y'all know my 3-4 year plan. I'd rather independent thug it out, no pay for 3 years, so that 4th year when it explodes I get all the money. People want money up front, so they're not going to put the real work in that these independent artists that we see at the top now put in 10, 15, 20 years. They talk to Joe now in the position that he's in now as if he's always been in this position. That's why Joe gets frustrated all the time. Like, nigga, y'all are my close friends. Y'all were there when I was down. And I know y'all know when I was down because y'all always bring it up. Imani and Ish, shit, sometimes Ice too. Those two will always let Joe know you haven't always been in this position. But then they'll jump on the other side of the fence and use that against him. Like, oh, it's because you're a celebrity. How the fuck you think I got here? And I've been saying since I was a 2K nigga, once I get to that top position, because all I'm doing is being consistent. All I'm going to do is continue to put videos out every day. All I'm doing is remaining current on the topics. Ta-da! Success. It's not because of who I am. Well, that's the side note. It is because of who I am. And everybody could be in the same position if they showcase themselves when they're talking on the same things that everybody else talks about. Because I am no different than anybody else. But my personality is different. And I know I'm making some type of an impact because there's AI channels out here trying to make content off of my content. At least change this shit. They using my video. They're using my voice. Then they'll switch from my voice and go to the AI voice, still using my script. And this is coming from a nigga that still views himself as a nobody. But then you'll have the guards come on a huge broadcast like this that has not always been this big and say these stupid ass statements. Which one is it, Imani? Which one is it?
I think it's still
I don't know. Stop. I do not want to spread that message. If you are really good at what you do and you go out in front of people and do it, people will come. It may not be the same crowd that Daniel Caesar gets, but wait, time out. Stop it. No. We're not going to compare ourselves to other artists. If you are an artist and you are good at what you do, go out and shake hands and kiss babies. People will come. You have to compare yourself to what Daniel Caesar is doing. It will grow your business.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
No, he is wrong.
How the hell can you hear that and then somehow equate what Park's saying to be wrong? How? Yes, you put in the groundwork and you're consistent at it and you constantly go outside, talk to the people, shake hands, kiss the babies, all that nonsense. If you do that, yes, you will grow. What the fuck is Imani talking about? See, and this is why on Patreon, I alluded to it. This is why I didn't like that him striking while the iron is hot comment. Because that casts the self-doubt that you see in yourself. You over here thinking that you're getting all this traction on your Patreon channel because you're on the Joe Budden podcast, because you're getting the push from everybody else that's quote unquote backing you. Not realizing that you are the person that's bringing in the viewership. You and Mark put Patreon content out at the same time. And outside of the content that Mark is speaking about pertaining to the JBP, your numbers are better than his. And he's Mark Lamont Hill. But then you'll sit here and say this shit and really mean this shit because you don't believe in yourself. Move out the way in conversations like this, dog. Move out the way. And like Joe said, I'm not talking to them, but he's really talking to you, which is why he was telling you about the price and the content. You being on this podcast alone, and I see the engagement and I see how people ride for you in my community, lets me know that your content is worth more than $3 Joe had to tell Imani to put his shit at a higher number. And Imani continues to think that he's in his position because of everyone else, and it's not because of himself. And that's weird, because if you're going to think like that in the positive lights, how are you thinking in the negative light? And the reason I'm so frustrated about Imani in particular is because A, he's ruining the Patreon experience. Every time we harp on Imani's life or something that's close to him, in this case, him being an artist and a musician, and since he hasn't been able to do what Daniel Caesar has done, he's looking at everyone else like they can't either. That's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, Imani, I don't want the Patreon to be censored on you anymore because you're going through a different process in your life, and I'm not going to talk shit about it because every man needs to go through this process. Some happens sooner than others. You need to start realizing what you contribute to you, nigga. So you'll stop having this type of mindset. And once that mindset switches, your podding will switch. Because I cut for you way too much for you to be going down this track, for you to be telling Dub, I'll never speak to you and anybody else like you again. Why? Because that nigga said he gave you $1,000? Man, fuck him! Fuck how you view this situation, Imani. Shit pisses me off, and it's always gonna piss me off when people don't think they can reach a different level or ascend because of obstacles placed against them type shit. It's the same shit that all these other people talk about on the internet, but y'all label them red pill. No. Just have a little faith in yourself. But sorry, guys. It's a little more animated than I normally want to be. It's just, I'm not going to let this slide. I'm not going to let talk like this slide. And I'm glad Parks put his foot down. Because when I initially heard this is how I feel like I have a little element of racer in me. I was like, hey, ain't no way in hell no white boy going to talk to me like that. That was the first thought that came in my mind. And then I ran it back and was like, wait a minute. He got a point, though. He got a point. Stop this woe is me shit. Stop. And I know I'm frustrated because of how it's affecting the pod. Boy had 2 good months and think he can go right back to this emotional bullshit. You need to get off of this, man. No. Everybody could get it out the mud. We're all going to see different levels of success, but you can't say a nigga's not successful if he could take care of his whole fucking life. I keep telling niggas, I don't have 10K. All my bills are paid from talking behind the mic. And you'll tell a nigga that he can't get it out the... Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. Don't ever listen to niggas like this. Not ever. You can get it out the mud. I tell people create they shit all the time. Y'all think I'm talking about content. No, anything you're proficient at. You could be the leader in that field. But you have to have that thought in your own mind. Another nigga can't force you to think like that. Imani. But I'll see y'all soon. Peace.